We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Good morning. It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Is there anything to talk about? Seems like a slow news day.
Yeah, nothing's really going on.
Yeah, I don't know what we could possibly discuss.
Absolutely nothing. We're just kind of floating here right now.
We're just doing our thing. Just chilling.
I think I'll take a nap.
I don't blame you.
It's a lazy day. Then the rain's coming in. It's very sleepy.
Maybe storms. It's kind of big.
I was at a 90s party.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night when everything went down.
A 90s party.
Yeah.
You wear your
What'd you wear?
JNCOs?
I wore all the clothes that I didn't let Virginia throw out.
Now, what's on that list?
I said, I told you this Team USA Charles Barkley jersey would come in handy. So that's what I wore. That's what I wore. I broke up the Timbos too.
Nice.
But we're in the middle of the 90s party. And it's like, this is how desensitized we've come to this. Somebody at the party, they kind of know what I do. And they were like, hey, did you hear that there was another assassination attempt on Donald Trump? And my first question is like, he's good, right? And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And then I waited, and I was like 10 minutes went by, and I was like, hey, maybe I should check in with the guys.
Maybe I
should check in with the guys. The memes have been glorious. I mentioned my favorite over the weekend, which was you've seen the ones with the noose, right? And the two guys are about to get hanged, and I think it's James Franco. He's looking at him, he's like, first time.
Yeah.
But it's like the meme is poor Melania terrified, and Trump is just sitting there smug, and he's like, first time. All right, so the shooter, Cole Allen, apprehended. He is, if you're looking on Super Talk TV, this is the picture that Donald Trump released Saturday night. Face down, ass up, and apparently Secret Service had stripped him to make sure that he didn't have anything on him. He got one of those nice little tinfoil blankets covering up his backside. But that was the first look that we had at this individual before we learned that Cole Allen was Teacher of the Month in December of 2024 in California. And it's just wild. Another meme I saw was, do you remember the No Kings protest? I think it was the No Kings protest. Might have been an ICE protest. Don't quote me on one. But it was like teachers in 2025. And it was that big fat lady who was pretending to be shot in the neck and who ended up being a teacher because she was mocking the death of Charlie Kirk, which was also perpetrated by lunatic leftists, despite what the internet will have you believe, or Candace Owens. And then the left was at it again. This time, teachers in 2026 are just armed and running like they're Sonic the Hedgehog through security checkpoints before they get apprehended. I do think that a lot of the security at these events are security theater. I mentioned briefly with Dan while we were doing the cross. I've done quite a few events where Donald Trump has been in attendance, and it always strikes me how things are possible if people want to make things possible. And it's scary, but it's a reality. I think it does underscore the fact that a ballroom is needed. That event would have been hosted at a ballroom and none of this would have ever had the even slightest chance of happening. But they held it at the hotel, and this guy checked in a day early. He is going to be stepping into a courtroom soon. We do know a couple of the charges that he's going to be facing. For starters, use of a firearm during a crime of violence, assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon.
31-year-old Cole Allen will be arraigned in federal district court on Monday, tomorrow. As of right now, he faces 2 preliminary charges, including a weapons charge and an assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon. And this comes after police say the suspect rushed a security checkpoint, shooting a Secret Service agent who was protected by his bulletproof vest in an effort to reach the room where President Trump and members of his cabinet were attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
He never made it to the room. He made it outside the room, and he got through one of those security checkpoints by running full speed. You've seen the video by this point, I'm sure, where he did shoot a Secret Service agent, like right in the chest. But again, protected by a bulletproof vest, thank the Lord. Nobody was injured. Cole Thomas Allen had a manifesto detailing his intention to target officials in the Trump administration. A senior Trump administration official confirmed to Breitbart News. Fox News' Jackie Heinrich first reported on those details. Now, funny enough, she reported on those details yesterday morning at 9:31 a.m. Yet yesterday afternoon, when Barack Obama tweeted about the incident, he said motives are still unclear. We don't know what the motives are. Mr. Hussein Obama. It's like my mom would say, if you don't have anything to say, don't say anything at all. Like, just, you didn't need to tweet it out. You obviously knew what the motives were. This is another example of leftists ginning up hysteria, and it's insane. They knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to kill President Trump. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He wanted to kill Trump. Breitbart continues, Allen allegedly shared the manifesto with family before allegedly storming the Washington Hilton, where the dinner was being held in the ballroom, with what NBC News reported was a shotgun, a handgun, and several knives. His brother alerted authorities after receiving the alleged manifesto, Heinrich reported in a post on X. Allen also attended a leftist anti-Trump No Kings protest, was a regular at the shooting range, and was a member of a group known as the Wide Awakes, Heinrich wrote. This is how dumb leftists are. If you have paid attention ever, the original Wide Awakes were an abolitionist group, a Republican group. Weird. Heinrich's reporting, which Breitbart News confirmed with senior administration officials, details of the Secret Service interviewed Allen's sister, Avriana Allen, saying that her brother had a tendency to make radical statements, and his rhetoric constantly referenced a plan to do something to fix the issues with today's world. According to Andrew Colvett, Allen was active on Blue Sky, where he went by the handle coldforcebsky.social, with multiple references to violence and guns. In one post, he calls President Trump the Antichrist. In another, he recommends buying guns in reaction to Trump's DOJ exploring ways to ban firearm purchases from transgenders. The Los Angeles, it's probably a good idea. Let's be perfect. Let's just ban them from leftists in general. The Los Angeles Times reported the firearms were obtained illegally, and according to Heinrich, Allen bought guns at CAP Tactical Firearms. President Trump was rushed off after the shots rang out, discussed the alleged manifesto with Fox News' Sunday briefing, called him a sick guy. When you read his manifesto, he hates Christians, that's for sure. He hates Christians, hatred, and I think his sister or his brother was actually complaining about it. They were even complaining to law enforcement, so he was a very troubled guy. I think that's the main story here. Another leftist lunatic doing what leftist lunatics do. As we go down the road, you're welcome to join the show any way you'd like. 615-737-9986. That's the phone number. That's the text line. You can also jump in the YouTube chat. Hit subscribe while you're there. The shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner was trying to kill as many people as possible on top of Donald Trump. This is according to multiple outlets. This is according to his own manifesto. And it was Fox News' Peter Doocy reporting this in the morning after the attempted assassination.
When I was talking to the president, he is, and the things that he's been hearing, he is of the understanding that this guy was trying to essentially break down the door, shoot his way through the door, and then go right up that center aisle and shoot as many people as possible.
He was a lunatic. Another example of a leftist lunatic who I think has been radicalized in part by Democrats in the mainstream media, which have over and over and over again labeled Donald Trump as the enemy of the people, a tyrant, a fascist, Hitler. You go down the line. Now, it's important to point out that when we had the previous administration in office, when they were doing actual tyrannical things, like, I don't know, labeling moms and dads at school board meetings as potential terrorists, chopping the bits off of perfectly fine kids, calling you a bigot for not allowing it. They were forcing vaccinations on the American public, or you weren't going to be able to buy, sell, or trade. That was not tyrannical. That was all good. And while we had real documented examples of fascism in real time, the censorship that we saw, you know what didn't happen? Republicans didn't take a shot at President Biden. Republicans didn't take a shot at Kamala Harris. It never happened because at the end of the day, we understand that shooting the president isn't the right thing to do. It's not. Weird how that might happen. Before we ended the crisscross, there's a guy who always texts in, a lovable liberal by the name of Jeremiah on the text line. And he said, you guys drum up hate. Me and Dan drum up hate. And so I said, sure thing. How many assassination attempts on Biden and Kamala? He said, what would have been the point with Biden? He was already dead. So I said, goalpost status. Moved. See, this is the difference between the left and the right. And it's here on full display for everyone. Now, Donald Trump spent a lot of the evening calling the reporters that were in the room, a room full of reporters, mind you, who have lied about him, defamed him, and talked crap about him every step of the way. And he called them after the White House Correspondents' Dinner to make sure that they were okay. He reached out to Jonathan Karl. He called back Peter Doocy. He called everybody. There's a room full of reporters. This is the guy, right, who's shutting down the freedom of the press. A room full of reporters who have his personal cell phone. That evil tyrant. Now, while he survived another assassination attempt on Saturday night, in the direct aftermath of it, he was joking about it. This is Steve Doocy, father of Peter Doocy, who was in attendance at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night.
My date last night was Peter Doocy. And so during all that stuff that was going on that you see on the screen right there, Peter was trying to call the president because he was backstage to see what's going on. And the president did not call back until 12:30 last night. And I was at Peter's house, and the president called, and we both talked to him. And Peter said, so, Mr. President, how do you feel? And he said, Peter, I feel like a piñata. Yeah. You know, people have been coming after him. He just wants to do his job.
I feel like a piñata. They keep taking shots at me. He's the toughest piñata on planet Earth, apparently, because no matter what happens, they're not getting to the candy-filled inside. Trump, what? Mason's what? Everybody knows he's
They're not getting to the candy-filled inside.
What do you like? I'm just being
good. It's good.
I'm just saying.
Just being honest.
He feels like a piñata. I don't blame him.
Don't blame him at all.
I mean, they're already talking about changing security protocols for him, and that he might have to wear a bulletproof vest when he's out in public. It's like, dude, what on earth? What did he do that actually made people pissed off? Oh my gosh, the tyrant. He tried to get rid of illegal aliens that shouldn't be here in the first place. Got it. Donald Trump, in the immediate aftermath of it, he went and he gave a hell of a good press conference. He also was on the phone giving interviews left and right. He said Melania is okay. I mean, there were a couple people in attendance that it's like you do worry about, right? And my wife and I are sitting there Saturday night, and she's like, man, you know, you gotta wonder what's going through Melania's mind or Barron's mind. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that they know what they signed up for. And as dark and sad as it might be, I'm sure that they've already thought and went through the motions on what it would be like if President Trump was assassinated. Like you have to mentally prepare yourself for that in some shape, form, or fashion. Melania, though, President Trump said, is doing okay after everything.
First off, how are you after all of this, and how is the First Lady doing?
She's doing great. I'm fine, and It was a very sad evening in many ways, and it was also an evening where a lot of people got together. It was I saw some Democrats as we were leaving, and they were generally hostile, and last night they were waving to me, and politicians, congressmen, senators, they were waving and saying, great going, and hello. So there was something very nice. I tell you, it was. I mentioned it last night in my little discussion. I think it came together. The place was just coming together. It was very nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, that coming together didn't last too long. The media is already spinning and doing what they can. They don't know what the motive is. And then you had Nora O'Donnell on the 60 Minutes interview. She was ready to attack. We'll bring you some of that audio on the way. But President Trump confirmed that he's going to be doing the White House Correspondents' Dinner again within the next 30 days. He also, when he talks about, everybody coming together, he actually, I mentioned this a moment ago, but Jonathan Karl confirmed it. He took the time on Saturday night to call members of the press, including the press that defames him and craps on him constantly, to see how they were doing.
John, your phone rang early this morning?
Yeah, my phone rang shortly after 7 a.m. My landline, George, actually a number that few people call, and it was President Trump calling. He said at first he was calling to see if I was okay with what happened last night. Are you okay? And then he reiterated many of the things he said in his press conference last night, emphasizing the unity that he felt in that moment, that he felt at the dinner before the shooting and certainly after with the people who reached out to him. And he said absolutely, and he was quite firm about this, that dinner must be rescheduled. It must be rescheduled. He knows that I was a former president of the White House Correspondents Association and had worked with him on a dinner that never actually happened back during COVID. And he was saying, we've got to get this dinner back on. It has to happen.
I love the strength, the toughness, that not give up attitude from the president. We're going to do this again. Make no mistake about it. Pretty soon, we're expecting Cole Allen, the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter, in court. We'll bring you updates on that as they become available. We'll also talk about the instant reaction from the media when this all took place. They immediately try to pivot the conversation to gun control. Of course they would. They want to talk about gun violence, not about the left and how they inspired these crazies to do this time and time and time again. A lot of people will tell you this is a third assassination attempt. By our count here, we're up to 8 now, and this is only the ones that we publicly know about. We'll talk about that as well. There's a lot to get to. We're going to take some of your phone calls as well. 615-737-9986. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for Shane Ring and Cover Nash. And if you think you got to wait for open enrollment, you got to wait till the fall to get you some health insurance, that's wrong. That's what the big guys want you to believe. It's not the case. With Cover Nash, you can get covered today, right now. No waiting, no gimmicks. It doesn't matter. If you missed open enrollment, they got you covered. If you lost your job coverage, we're sorry about that, but Shane can get you something really affordable. And if you're sick of overpriced junk insurance, well, you're in the right place. Even if you have insurance right now, I would recommend calling Shane Ring and say, hey, dude, can you save me some money? Chances are he may be able to do just that. You see, Cover Nash partners with over 75 top-rated insurance companies, including brand new nationwide PPO options with deductibles as low as $250, flat $50 doctor visits, ACA-compliant plans with free preventative care. Whether you're an individual, whether you got the whole family you need to take care of, you're self-employed, or you got a small business, Cover Nash has something for you. Stop overpaying, stop waiting, stop thinking you're stuck. Pick up the phone and call my friend Shane Ring today. 615-465-0023. 615-465-0023. You can get some health insurance on your terms, not the government's. CoverNash.com.
Coming up, it's thunderstorms tonight, but no need for panic. We'll bring you Stefano's forecast coming up here in the news at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. Mason Fleming is producing. You guys are welcome to join the show on the phone lines, the text line, 615-737-9986. You can also jump in the chat over on YouTube. Hail to the chat. I got a text here from 0857. Said, yes, Chris, but on a lighter note, how many pizzas did you end up buying Friday night? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I know we gave you a little guff last week.
Yeah.
People were giving me a little guff.
Did you hit the final 46?
So no. So I used some restraint. And
Good for you.
I did. So my
that
wife
means that the missus won.
not necessarily. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch.
Okay.
The wife wanted 4 pizzas. I wanted 10. Settled on 7. We had 2 slices left over.
Oh.
We fed everybody. I felt like the kid with the fish. I did. I felt,
Did you go around with a basket collecting more?
I felt like the kid with the fish. I was like, this is awesome. But no, we had an awesome time on Friday night.
Dude, yeah, you were telling me between the break.
I love Little League, like especially. So we got 2 Little League teams going right now. Young Bishop is still in coach pitch, which is great. When the kids get going, it's a lot of fun. But Brooks, who's 8 now, like they're playing defense and they're hitting and it's kid pitch. But we played Yankees versus Red Sox. It was a tight game and we pulled out the victory and it was awesome. We had friends on both teams, but I was saying to Mason off the air, it was nice because it's like nobody was like screaming. Like neither of the coaches are like overly aggressive or like. It was just like a fun game, and the kids got to play, and that's the best part.
That's huge. When everybody understands we're here for fun, that's all that matters.
Yep. So 7 pizzas. 7 pizzas.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I was basically a hero. I felt like how Batman would feel when I showed up, because all the parents. It's like 9:05 when the game gets over.
Yeah.
And here I come with 7 boxes of pizza.
They were all thinking dinner plans, trying to figure it out. And
they were like, thank you. Like, now we can get these kids home. And it's like, no, you already ate dinner. Go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm here for.
Tuckered out full. Go to bed.
This is what we do. So, yes, it was an awesome night. Much better than Saturday night.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We'll talk a little bit more about Saturday night. Have you seen some of the conspiracy theories online?
They're bouncing.
Have you? Well, not even just this was a staged pro ballroom false flag.
Yeah.
But there's some other weird things going on.
Like the people involved?
Like the Twitter account that posted the name of the shooter in, I think it was 2023.
Really?
It was one post. That was it. And it was the profile pic was a Pepe the Frog with a black bow tie on.
Interesting.
It was Ballroom Pepe.
Pepe knows all.
It was
what?
Get ready. It gets even weirder. We'll talk about it when we get back. I don't necessarily believe it, but I do love it. I'm here for the conversation. 9:30, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. It's now 9:31. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories and want to let you know, drivers, that intersection out at the airport is still closed down. Briley Parkway at Vultee Boulevard. It was a crash, an accident that happened earlier this morning. It brought down a power line, so they're still working to clear that out. Again, it's Briley Parkway at Vultee Boulevard. That intersection is closed. Got to be prepared for thunderstorms to shake you out of bed for the next couple of nights. Stefano tells us that tonight, things will get going right around 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock this evening until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that is going to be the main round of potential severe weather. Heavy rain, high wind gusts, much higher threats compared to hail and tornadoes. But the strongest thunderstorms could be some hail producers. We could also have a couple of isolated spin-up tornadoes as well.
And then tomorrow night, pretty much the same scenario, but the severe weather threat is diminished a bit. Now, for both nights, we're expecting heavy rain and strong winds. We'll stay on top of the weather. Cole Allen makes his first court appearance in D.C. today. He, of course, the man who attempted to storm the White House Correspondents' Dinner to kill President Trump and members of his administration. We're hearing that his family may have been aware that he was dangerous.
We're told that members of his family are being cooperative, particularly his parents in California. There also was a phone call that was placed to a police department in Connecticut around the time of the attempted attack. The authorities are studying whether family members may have had some concerns in advance because they saw some writings that concern them, or whether they were reacting to what they heard on the news after the fact.
It's ABC's Aaron Katursky. The White House pivots from attempted assassination to royal visit today. King Charles and Queen Camilla are having tea at the White House today and a big meeting tomorrow for the king and the president.
On Tuesday, that is the main event. The king will address both houses of Congress, and then there'll be a state dinner at the White House hosted by Donald Trump. Charles and Camilla will go to New York, where they'll visit the 9/11 memorial. Diplomatic relations between Britain and the United States have been strained over the war in Iran. It was hoped Charles would help calm those problems. Now it will feel like a timely visit from a close ally during a troubled moment.
That's ABC's James Longman. That is the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friend Aaron Parker over at Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville. You've heard me talking about these guys for a while. They're our veteran-owned, family-run safe and vault door business right here in Middle Tennessee. And let's be honest, a lot of us want a safe, but we don't know where to begin, and that's why we've been putting it off. We got to figure out which one we want, where to buy it, where to put it, how to get it installed. Aaron is going to help you with all of this. You can start by searching for Parker Safes on YouTube. You can find a detailed video review of every single safe that they have in stock. You'll know pretty quickly which one is right for you. From there, Aaron and his sons will give you advice on the best place to put it. They'll deliver it, and they'll carefully install it themselves. These guys are the best when it comes to safes. They sell real safes, not safes that can be tipped over or pried open by a teenager. Those are actually just filing cabinets. Spoiler alert. What you're going to get from Parker Safes and Vaults are true safes from brands like American Security, Rhino, Liberty, Heyman, and more. Don't put it off any longer. Call my friend Aaron today, 931-842-6445, 931-842-6445. It's Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville. They'll come to you. They serve all of Middle Tennessee. Shelbyville's not another country. And mention Chris Hand when you buy your safe, and you'll land a free pistol safe while supplies last. Find the entire inventory online, parkersafes.com. That's parkersafes.com. Should kids be on this platform, period?
No, it's not worth it. It's only going to create headaches for you.
Roblox itself, it is a predator haven. There are games on Roblox like XYZ Public Bathroom Simulator. That's about 7 million visits, and the whole premise of the game is showering together with kids.
It's basically open season for sex predators on this app. For this reason and all of the others that we've talked about today, Roblox is violating Louisiana law.
If you join it, you're going to see predators, you're going to see naked avatars, you're going to see people peeing and all this sort of weird stuff. If I was a parent and I saw that, I would be outraged. I would be totally outraged. And parents aren't aware of this.
Because there is so much content and it's so difficult to monitor, and there's, 40% of their users are under the age of 13. Of course, it's a place where predators have learned how to network and gather and groom children.
939, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. The show is not just mine, it's yours. You're welcome to join it any way you'd like. 615-737-9986. That's the phone number. That's the text line. You can jump in on the YouTube chat as well. It's already filling up nicely in there over on the YouTube side. Hit subscribe if you're there. We appreciate you growing the digital footprint of the radio station. You can also listen on all the apps on your phone, and you can listen on the FM dial as well. Wherever you're listening, we do appreciate you. However, this next segment, I do think there's going to be something special about the YouTube side. You're going to need a little bit of video to pick up what we're putting down. So join us over there on YouTube. The internet's been going bananas, absolutely bananas, after the third publicly acknowledged assassination attempt of Donald Trump. I say publicly acknowledged because there's been a lot more, but the main ones, we had Golf Course Man, we had Sloped Roof Man, and now we have Teacher of the Month. So, those are the big three.
Yeah, just setting examples of what not to do.
Those are the big three. But a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's staged," which is like, get out of here. Like, I don't even want to entertain that one. But there's a weirder one going on too, and this one has been fact checked. This one is true. Can you put this up? Put this tweet up on the screen for me. There's an X account that joined in December of 2023, and the user's name is Henry Martinez. Profile picture is a very rare Pepe the Frog, holding up a champagne glass with a black bow tie. One post by this account on December 21st of 2023, and the one post by this account says Cole Allen. Well, that's weird. And a lot of people are noticing how weird it is. In fact, it got so much noticing going on that Breitbart had to do a write-up on this because the story is not going anywhere. Claim: a mysterious X account using the screen name Henry Martinez posts the name of the alleged White House Correspondents Association dinner shooter Cole Allen in December of 2023, the only tweet made on the account. Verdict? True. Social media users discovered the tweet shortly after authorities identified Allen as the suspect arrested at the Washington Hilton. The account, identified as Henry Ma 795-61893, posted the message at 6:07 p.m. on December 21st, 2023, and has remained inactive since that date. The mysterious nature of the post has divided the internet users into two camps. Some dismiss this as pure coincidence, while others believe there may be a more complex explanation. The single tweet has generated thousands of replies and sparked numerous conspiracy theories across various social media platforms. Although the theories are flying hot and heavy, the initial question if the post by Henry Martinez is real has definitely been answered. This is a real post. As of Sunday morning, X users are trying to find connections between the alleged gunman Cole Allen and Henry Martinez, the name used by the account. One theory going viral is that the two individuals are connected by NASA. Wait for it. Dude, this gets so weird. According to Cole Thomas Allen's LinkedIn, the shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, he interned at NASA in 2014. In 2014, NASA published a paper, and Henry Martinez was an author. An ex-user named Henry Martinez made only a single post on December 21st, 2023. The post simply said Cole Allen. They say while social media explores theories about the alleged shooter, more facts about his life are emerging. Breitbart News reported that Cole Allen donated Democrat funding raising machine Act Blue. He donated $25 to the Kamala Harris campaign. President Trump revealed on Saturday night the Secret Service agent was shot by the gunman, was saved by a bulletproof vest. Thank goodness. But this gets even weirder. You ready for this? So from there, if you go into this Twitter account, every Twitter account has a header page, right? So you have a header photo. And on Henry Martinez's header photo is this weird, I don't know, how would you describe that? It's like rainbowy, melty art, right? It's like rainbowy, melty art. This is
it looks like melted wax almost.
Okay, so this is where people go off the rails. You ready for this? This image is linked to a website called Time Machine, okay? And it came out quite a few years ago. And people are now laying over the image of Donald Trump at the Butler shooting and saying that this is a distorted image of the famous photo of Donald Trump raising his fist up that was then distorted. But this photo came out before the assassination attempt. The tweet came out before the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I don't know. I'm just letting you know what the internet's saying. And the internet is saying this proves time travel. Project Looking Glass has been brought up many, many times. Isn't that weird? Are you watching this on YouTube?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
I don't really know how to describe it. And I feel like, I don't know, it feels like a bit of a stretch at a certain point.
Yeah, and also the picture of Trump kind of looks a little squeezed to fit a little better.
But this is not the only account that's been saying. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So you got the tweet that only references the shooter's name from, 3 years ago, 3+ years ago? Or no, a little less than 3 years ago, because it's 2026 now. So 2.5 years ago, 2 and change. And then you got the header photo. But people are like, look, time travel. Maybe. I don't know what it means. I just know that that's what the internet is talking about this morning. Elsewhere, Donald Trump sat down for an interview with 60 Minutes' Norah O'Donnell. And he walked into that interview knowing Norah O'Donnell hates him. So it was poised to be a great interview. He sat down for it anyway. He was asked many questions. He did confirm that he has read the manifesto and that the shooter was anti-Christian. He was radicalized, and he's probably a pretty sick guy. This is the president with Norah O'Donnell last night on 60 Minutes.
Mr. President, do you know if you were the target of the gunman?
I don't know. It sounded to me, I read a manifesto. He's radicalized. He was a Christian, a believer, and then he became an anti-Christian, and he had a lot of change. He's been going through a lot based on what he wrote. His brother complained about him, and I think reported him to the police, and his sister likewise complained about him. His family was very concerned. He was probably a pretty sick guy.
Yeah, I think that's an understatement. He's a deranged leftist lunatic. And then Trump went on to say that, listen, he wasn't really nervous when it all happened. He said, I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
Far from you, Mr. President. Could hear what sounded like gunshots or commotion.
Right.
People nearby could smell the gunpowder. Everybody hit the floor. How worried were you that there were going to be injuries?
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
You are sitting there next to the First Lady. The entertainer named Oz Perlman is talking to you. He's known as the
Right.
mentalist. When did you know something was wrong?
Right around that point, in fact, you can see the expression on the First Lady's face, and your president of the evening, chairman or president or both, who is doing a great job, by the way.
Weijia Jiang,
your
CBS
associate,
News.
yeah, she was a terrific person. They were asking the name of Caroline's child that he didn't know, I guess, but
Your
he was
press
able
secretary is expecting, and he was trying to guess
That's
the
right.
baby's name.
That's right.
You mentioned the First Lady. Her face, she looked very alarmed. Was she
was.
scared?
Well, I don't want to say, and people don't like having it said that they were scared, but certainly, I mean, who wouldn't be when you have a situation like that? By that time, I think she realized ahead of time that that was more of a bullet than it was a tray. And she was, I looked at her face just a little while ago before I came. I saw the scene. They played it for me in, pretty good close-up. And she looked very upset about what just took place,
Yeah, I mean, she looked shocked. She did. And President Trump looked like he's dealt with this before. He didn't. I don't know. Like, did anybody else feel like the president looked nervous at all? I didn't think he looked nervous. But from there, the interview took a turn where Norah O'Donnell did what Norah O'Donnell was waiting to do, and she started reading the manifesto. And Trump goes, "Yeah, I knew you were going to do this because this is what the media that hates Donald Trump tends to do." And Trump was an absolute savage to Norah O'Donnell, called her an absolute disgrace for reading this.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, "Administration officials, they are targets." And he also wrote this, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me.
I mean, the way she... you think he meant you? It's like, this is such bovine scatology. This is exactly what the media does. This is why people are taking shots at the president in the first place, because of the rhetoric from the media and the rhetoric from the Democrats. And then she acts stunned. Oh, you think he meant you? Oh, my God. Wow. I'm hearing this for the first time. I had no idea. I'm shocked. And President Trump, he's like, no, like, miss me with the BS. Like, we know exactly what you're doing here. Nobody is fooled by you. And President Trump looks absolutely irritated, as he should be.
I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that, because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I
these
was
are
never,
the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead. Let's finish the interview.
He's absolutely right. I mean, this is the reason why these leftists have been radicalized. It's because of what the mainstream media says and what they omit. Norah O'Donnell hates President Trump. She's a lefty partisan hack. Let's not forget that her husband's restaurant in D.C. was raided by ICE because they were using illegal alien labor. There is no love loss for President Trump from the O'Donnell side of things. She is a TDS lib. This is the same woman who in the days leading up to the election, what were we, like a week out from the election, she said, President Biden made a gaffe and called half the country trash. But can you believe what President Trump is doing?
We are now 6 days out from Election Day. Nearly 60 million votes have already been cast in early in-person voting and through the mail. And the latest polls suggest the race could not be tighter.
Yeah, well,
Both campaigns are locking their focus on the battleground states. Vice President Kamala Harris rallied in North Carolina and Pennsylvania today and is in Wisconsin tonight. Former President Donald Trump was in North Carolina earlier and tonight is also in Wisconsin. He landed in Green Bay just a short time ago and then pulled this campaign stunt, speaking to reporters from a garbage truck. Proof that he and his supporters are giving no grace to a gaffe by President Biden.
Giving no grace to a gaffe from President. Like, this is who we're dealing with here.
Lame.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he knew who he was walking into. He knew what he was going to be dealing with. And he had every right to call her a disgrace. We'll bring you some more moments from this interview with 60 Minutes on the way. We'll take some of your phone calls as well, 615-737-9986. We'll talk about how the Democrat rhetoric caused this once again and more. Hang out with us. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at USS, United Structural Systems. Matt Murphy's in here, by the way. He likes USS. Yeah. There's been some cracks in the foundation on the afternoon show, and they called me in to seal it up Friday.
Yeah, he did. Thursday it was.
Okay. If you notice cracks in your walls, uneven floors, or driveways sinking and separating, it's more than a home issue. It's a peace of mind issue. This is why you need to choose the best when it comes to foundation repair and concrete leveling. I trust United Structural Systems because they have a track record to prove their success. They've been doing it since 1994, fixing homes right here in Tennessee. Over 30,000 satisfied customers. USS doesn't believe in quick fixes or scare tactics. They'll take the time to inspect, explain what's happening, and walk you through real, proven solutions that are built to last. Whether you need foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, or concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, driveways, USS uses engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not temporary patches. This is the difference, and this is why so many homeowners trust USS. You can trust them as well. Find them online at USSTN.com or just make the phone call today. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, United Structural Systems, USSTN.com.
We've got some strong storms headed our way for tonight and for tomorrow night. We've got some details coming up here in the news at 10 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. I just had Matt Murphy. Matt Murphy's still like lingering around. He's loitering.
He's a loiterer. The handyman can.
So just
handyman can.
let the record show that while Matt Murphy is already poking holes in the Twitter story, he did confirm that is a very rare Pepe.
Bowtie Pepe.
Bowtie Pepe is one of the rarest Pepes. If you know, you know. We'll talk about that a little bit more. We'll take some of your phone calls on the way. Let's talk about the immediate reaction from the media in the aftermath of the assassination attempt. Like, as soon as this happened, they immediately jumped in and tried to turn it into a conversation about gun control. Yeah. And MS Now, hold on. I think I got time to do this before we hit the break. MS Now, President Trump is in attendance. They've tried to kill him twice, right? A deranged leftist runs through a security checkpoint, and this is how they report it.
We do not yet know what the shooter's intended target was. Yes, obviously, this was an event that was well publicized that the president would be attending. He has not attended this event since 2015, but it was a room of over 1,000 people. There were reporters, there were lawmakers, there were business leaders. There were members of Congress, there were members of the administration, and yes, of course, there were the president and First Lady Melania Trump. But we do not yet know who specifically was the target, correct?
That is absolutely right, and really important to say.
Really important to say. It could have, listen, this could have been a domestic dispute. They could have been after one of the servers. Who am I to say? Who are you to say?
MSNBC on top of it. I'm sorry.
We don't dead name on the Chris Hand Show.
MS Now.
It's MS Now. We'll talk about the media reaction on the way. It's 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning now, 10 o'clock, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. For drivers, got to watch it out at the airport this morning. They've still got the intersection of Briley Parkway at Vultee Boulevard closed off because there are power lines down in that area after an accident earlier this morning. Again, it's Briley Parkway at Vultee Boulevard, still closed. In the news, the forecast calling for thunderstorms to arrive around 10 o'clock tonight. They'll go on through about 5 in the morning, disrupting your sleep. And bringing with it some heavy rain, high winds, the possibility of a spin-up tornado, too. But the chances of that happening are not high. The same scenario arriving tomorrow night with a lower chance of tornadoes. Keep it here. We'll stay on top of the weather for you. The Secret Service agent who was shot in the chest during Saturday night's attack in D.C. is expected to be okay. Meantime, the Wall Street Journal says all the federal government's might was beaten by a guy with a room key. FBI Director Kash Patel telling Fox News to expect some changes.
This was a matter that needs to be heavily scrutinized because it almost took the lives of dozens, if not hundreds of people, but for the quick reaction of our law enforcement. And we're going to be talking about how we improve the security, not just for this event, but for all events going forward. We're going to learn from this one, and we're going to utilize President Trump's leadership and backing of the blue and law enforcement and work with DHS to ensure our cabinet, our protectees, and the American civilian population is as best protected as possible.
DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullen oversees the U.S. Secret Service. Meantime, Cole Allen is scheduled to make his first court appearance this afternoon at the U.S. District Court for D.C. He'll be arraigned on charges of assault on a federal officer, using a dangerous weapon, and using a firearm during a crime of violence. More charges are expected to be added in the coming days. The FBI and the DOJ holding a press conference after that arraignment. No U.S. peace deal yet with Iran. Instead, Tehran is reaching out to Russia for more support. President Trump, meantime, ruling out in-person talks, saying Iran can call on secure telephone lines if they want to negotiate. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
We'll deal by telephone, and they can call us anytime they want.
As the war enters week 9, the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, Iran refusing to negotiate until the U.S. ends its naval blockade. On Friday, the president could hit another roadblock. The 1973 War Powers Resolution may force President Trump to seek congressional approval to continue the war past the 60-day mark. On May 1st, that 60-day threshold will be reached.
And finally, the Supreme Court has just handed down a victory for the Republican Party. It struck down a lower court's ruling that had blocked Texas' plans for redrawing its congressional districts, meaning that with today's ruling, Texas Republicans can pick up a potential of 5 congressional seats. Florida is expected to take up a redrawing of its congressional maps next. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
But my guess is the same as yours. And look, left-wing violence is a problem in this country, Jesse. We've said this time and time again. My dear friend Charlie Kirk was murdered by a left-wing radical. The President of the United States was almost killed a year and a half ago. And then again, a few months after that, we have a real crisis where there are far too many left-wing people who don't want to debate, who don't want to disagree, who don't want to try to persuade their fellow citizens. They want to try to kill their fellow citizens, and that's a real problem.
That was J.D. Vance months ago. Yet still the same problem persists. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Left-wing violence is an issue. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen on all the apps, the FM dials. Super Talk TV is up and running, YouTube and Rumble. You know the deal. Hit subscribe. Democrat rhetoric caused this. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. Their ideas don't hold any weight. They can't debate those ideas, so they turn to violence. Every single time. Now, make no mistake about it, they'll tell you This is just a regular guy. This is a regular guy in California. Nothing crazy. Just a regular dude. In fact, one of the college students that worked with Cole Allen, he mentioned that during an interview just yesterday.
He seemed just like a completely average guy. I mean, I never would have expected anything like this out of a guy like this. Like, it's really just bizarre. Like, I can't believe it.
Just a regular average guy, but I think that points to the issue at hand. The rhetoric from the Democrats, the rhetoric from the mainstream media can radicalize a normal guy, just an average dude, and turn them into a violent left-winger. And the violence only comes from one side. You know it and I know it. Everyone knows. They'll demonize us. They'll call us Nazis. They'll call us we support the Gestapo and that President Trump is a fascist and a tyrant. But the violence only comes from one side. The media deserves a lot of the blame for what happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, 100%. Carrie Lake was on, I think it was Real America's Voice or Newsmax. It was Newsmax. She was on Newsmax in the aftermath of the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Carrie Lake was running for Senate in Arizona a couple years back. She lost to Ruben Gallego, not because Gallego was a better choice, but because the rhinos in the GOP didn't spend any money on her race. Similar to what we saw in the referendum vote for redistricting in Virginia, where they spent $20 million in there, but they spent $95 million for John Cornyn, a rhino, to get over his primary against Ken Paxton, which is probably going to fail. It's probably throwing good money after bad. And John Cornyn, by the way, have you seen all the recently resurfacing videos of him pushing for mass amnesty? Yeah, so he's our guy. He's our guy. Classic. Carrie Lake, this is in the immediate aftermath of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. She said she walked right up to and confronted Jake Tapper.
There's a report, though, that an officer was shot in a bullet-resistant vest. He's expected to be okay, Carrie. But the shooter is in custody. We have video of it up right now. The shooter is in custody. Unclear.
I will tell you, I'm sorry, but guys, I walked out, and I walked out as a complete. I'm sorry, he's a fool. Walking out next to Jake Tapper, and I looked at him and I said, "How dare you? You have caused so much division in this country, pushing lies." I said, we're not going to call it gaslighting anymore. You've lied to the people. How dare you do that? And I saw so many people from all of these news outlets who've just spread abject lies about President Trump over the years.
Yep.
They're part to blame of this, and I don't mean to get dramatic tonight. But I, as an American mother and an American, I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of the fake news that has just spread nothing but lies, trying to hurt this president, trying to go against the American people. And I couldn't sit there silent and walk out next to somebody like a Jake Tapper and act like he's a good guy.
Yeah, and good on her for calling him out. The media holds a lot of responsibility on this. They're the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. You know it, and I know it. Senator Mike Lee posted this on X, said the left calls for violence repeatedly, then feigns surprise when those calls are heated, and he posted the highlight reel of Democrats calling for that violence.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
Biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched.
All right, I thought I was going to be able to get through the whole thing, but I just wanted to point out Don Lemon married the biggest radical threat in the country. He married a white guy. So, I know. Hey, you know what they say. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Don Lemon took it to heart.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
This way. That's it right there, pulling up.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
So you might say, well, those are all old clips, Chris. Well, okay, fine. This was Jimmy Kimmel doing a mock performance of the White House Correspondents' Dinner the night before the attack that happened. Jimmy Kimmel making jokes about Melania being a widow.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
These people are sick. Melania responded to that, saying, Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? And it's at the expense of our community. It's not just Trump that they're going after. It's so many. I mean, Charlie Kirk got murdered. We've all received death threats here at the station. Like it's conservatives in general. They don't. It's not just you or me. It's not just because I'm on a radio station or because Charlie Kirk led Turning Point USA or because Donald Trump is the president. They want you dead too. They don't care. They think that you're a Nazi and a bigot and a fascist. It's disgusting. And we've seen it time and time again, even down to like Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley, he exposes fraud. He exposes tax dollars being stolen, tax dollars that aren't Democrat or Republican, just tax dollars. And because he exposes fraud and he's labeled a right winger, Nick Shirley gets death threats. Like this stuff has to stop, but it keeps going and going and going.
For instance, last time I was in California, a few trips back, people were trying to dox my location live. I was at a hotel, and people were up on Reddit group chats saying where I was staying. And it's happened a few times now, so it's like almost even dangerous for me to go stay at hotels because you can get doxxed really quick, and people come and find out where you're at. You get constant death threats from people. The fraudsters are angry. In fact, they're very angry. I've had death threats, and one of them was even very specific about the date. It's actually supposed to be coming up very soon, the date.
The death threats are so prevalent. But there's no direct call. Nobody's like, hey, go shoot Donald Trump tonight at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's not like that. But it's been building for the last 10 years. U.S. Attorney Mihek Cook, who was actually one of the finalists to be the senator for Ohio after J.D. Vance became the vice president, she nailed it on social media last night.
Washington has created a permission structure. They didn't have to say, go shoot Trump. They did something more dangerous and far more acceptable in our polite society. They spent years telling Americans that Trump is Hitler, that democracy ends if he wins, that his supporters are fascists.
Yep.
That's normal political disagreement. Is not disagreement at all, but an emergency, a crisis, a call for resistance. And then they act shocked when unstable people absorb that message. And here's the part the media doesn't want to say out loud. If you tell people over and over again that the man is the next Hitler, that America becomes a dictatorship if he survives politically, that every institution must stop him, then you're creating a moral framework where someone can convince himself that he's not committing violence, that he's actually saving democracy. That is a permission structure. No one has to hand him a written order. No one has to say the quiet part out loud. They just have to continue to say and make political violence seem morally understandable. For 10 years, they turned Trump from an opponent into an existential threat. They turned his voters into villains. They turned elections into an apocalypse. This isn't normal politics. This is radicalization. And the worst part, the double standard that's impossible to ignore today, is when the right uses heated rhetoric. The media diagnoses the entire movement in 5 minutes. They blame talk radio. They blame conservative media. They blame a map. They blame a slogan. They blame everyone.
She's absolutely right. And then they gaslight us. I mean, a lot of this hate is built off of hoaxes. We just saw the SPLC last week completely exposed for funding and facilitating one of the biggest hoaxes used against Donald Trump, the Very Fine People hoax. And when it's provably a lie, they don't care. They just move right on. They pretend it doesn't happen. And the same thing is happening in the aftermath of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Representative Jamie Raskin was on CNN, and he was asked if his party should tone down the heated rhetoric, and he acts clueless. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you have, as many of your fellow Democrats, have used some heated rhetoric against the president. And do you think twice about that when something like this happens?
What rhetoric do you have in mind?
Just talking.
What rhetoric? What rhetoric? What do you mean? What rhetoric? What rhetoric could you? What could they be talking about?
About some of the fact that he, is terrible for this country and so on and so forth. I understand that that's your democratic right, but overall,
yeah,
do you
I have
have
no
a responsibility?
personal problem with Donald Trump at all. I mean, I talk about the policies of this administration, the authoritarianism like we saw on display in Minneapolis, where 2 of our citizens were gunned down in the streets simply for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Yeah, their First Amendment right, following around ICE agents while they're trying to get illegal alien gang members, murderers, pedophiles, rapists off the street, where Renee Nicole Good is trailing these ICE agents all day, and then she careens her vehicle at one of the ICE agents. Weird. Or Alex Preddy, oh, gosh darn it, the ICU nurse who, spends his spare time kicking out taillights of federal agents' vehicles. These are normal First Amendment things, you guys. And they completely ignore all of the horrific stories that we've seen caused by the illegal aliens that were let into this country en masse. I mean, we had a story last week, and it's disgusting, but I think it's worth mentioning. San Antonio, Texas, illegal alien comes out of the woods. There's a mother fishing with her 3-year-old. Not making a political statement. I don't know if she was a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't matter, to be perfectly honest with you. But she's there fishing with her 3-year-old. This illegal alien assaults her, punches the mother in the face several times, causing her to drop her 3-year-old daughter, at which point the illegal alien starts biting the face of the 3-year-old. Yes, let's label our ICE agents Nazis and Gestapos and say that this is fine. I don't know what rhetoric could have caused this. I don't know. Maybe when Democratic Senator out of Connecticut, Chris Murphy, reminds everybody that they're at war in the Democrat Party.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Whatever is necessary. Like, gee whiz, I don't know, getting a gun and storming the White House Correspondents' Dinner to try and take out the orange fascist Hitler? Again, they don't have to say it explicitly. They have built up this rhetoric over the last decade, and these unstable losers are using it as a permission slip for violence. We'll talk about this a little bit more on the way. We'll take some of your phone calls as well, 615-737-9986. It's 1022 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Up ahead, thunderstorms with lots of rain and high winds, and they have the potential to disrupt your sleep tonight. Also, what the Supreme Court just did that gives Republicans big hope. It's coming up at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Big hope, you say?
Big hope.
Big hope.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Joan Jones got the headlines on the way in less than 4 minutes. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm going through the text line, and 2433 just said, it just hit me listening to the lawyer's comments, Mihek Cook. He said, the Democrats and Islamists are the same. Religion of peace, but only if you convert. The conservatives are causing violence because they believe differently than Democrats. Common thread. You're the problem because you're not like us. 1,000%. I also got another text from our friend Tim. And Tim says, instead of calling this a, hold on, where is it? Okay, he said, instead of calling this Trump derangement syndrome, we need to start calling it a media-inspired attack. Yep, 100%. 100%, Tim. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the show. My friend Larry in Clarksville is on the line. What's up, Larry?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm above the daisies, and I actually worked in a joint task force with the Canadian Air Force, so I've got a lot of Canadian friends. You used to be my third or fourth, but I think Tony is now my first.
Okay.
Favorite.
I'm gonna buy you Tim Hortons when it opens up in Murfreesboro. I'm gonna move up the power rankings.
All right, but listen. Andy Ogles was on with Dan Mandis this morning.
Yes, sir.
And he mentioned that one of his colleagues, while they were diving under the table, and it was a reporter, I don't know who or she or he or they or this or them was, but one of his colleagues overheard them say, I hope they kill that orange MFer. Now, she didn't say MFer, she said the words.
Yep.
So I would like you to dive in, because I know you go down these rabbit holes. I want you to find out who this person was.
I will definitely dive into that. But it wouldn't shock. I mean, that one person might have said it out loud, but I bet a lot of them were thinking it internally.
Oh, absolutely, sir. And listen, I love your show. I appreciate you. You are such a great hire for WTN, and I listen every day. And I'm a P1, even though I didn't know what the heck a P1 was.
Well, I appreciate you, Larry, as always, man. And you sound great. You sound like you're doing a lot better. So I've been praying for you, and I'll continue to do that.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I appreciate you. That's Larry in Clarksville. The media, as soon as this attack happened, they immediately pivoted to blaming gun violence.
And let's not forget as well that, as you mentioned, Scott, and we've talked about some of the people at the beginning of this dinner who were present in the room. Yeah. Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. You have people who are civilians who may or may not have had their own experiences with gun violence in this country. And as we know, gun violence, Steve Scalise also there, a victim of gun violence as well. And there are others who we are not naming in the moment as well. And just to think about the prevalence of gun violence.
I love that they go gun violence. Steve Scalise was shot. Wasn't he shot by a Bernie bro, a radical leftist? Charlie Kirk was shot by a guy with a transgender boyfriend and then turned in by his father. It's gun violence. It's not radical leftists. This is a gun violence issue, guys. You know what we should do? We should ban guns. Actually, I think it'd be a lot safer if we banned leftists. 10:30, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Good morning, I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. You're going to want to make sure your cell phone is fully charged before you go to bed tonight, just in case you lose power during tonight's heavy thunderstorms.
Higher threat for this evening and tonight is along and west of I-65. 2 out of 5 on that scale, even a 3 out of 5, just barely clipping northwest middle Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky, 1 out of 5 in the plateau. And all I want you to take from this is that storms are expected to weaken a little bit as they work their way to the east.
And Stefano says a few thunderstorms could sneak into the area this afternoon. New information about the suspected shooter who shot a Secret Service agent and attempted to take the life of President Trump and members of his administration. ABC News is reporting that Cole Allen snuck down 10 flights of stairs and went undetected before making a mad dash through security checkpoint. He also left a message to his family.
Sources describe a message Cole Allen allegedly sent to his family before the attack. That message allegedly describes grievances against Trump administration officials, expressing how, if necessary, he would kill from the highest ranking to the lowest, including any Secret Service member that got in his way.
ABC's Pierre Thomas, his first court appearance is this afternoon. The Supreme Court has just ruled that Texas' redrawn congressional map is constitutional, meaning Texas can pick up a potential 5 congressional seats. Right on time, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis also just unveiling a new congressional map for his state. It shows the GOP gaining an extra 4 seats as early as the 2026 midterms. And after this from Jimmy Kimmel on Thursday.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Also, the attempt on her husband's life, Melania has had it. She just tweeted, quote, people like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. Enough is enough. It's time for ABC to take a stand. You can read that full tweet. I've reposted it on my timeline at Joan Jones WTN. That is the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Zero Res Nashville. You heard Joan Jones and the weather there. It's we got some rain coming through tonight. Maybe your dogs are like mine, where they don't have to go use the restroom outside until the rain is actually coming down, and then they track in mud. Or maybe you're a lot more like me, who forgets to bring in the flagpole and the chairs and all that kind of stuff until it starts raining. And then you're the one tracking in the mud and the dirt on the carpet. Whatever the case may be, if you get that mud, you get the dirt on the carpets, call my friends at Zero Res. They're the Maha of carpet cleaning. They don't use harsh chemicals. They don't leave soap residue behind. They're just using their exclusive special ZR water cleaning system, and it actually gets your carpets insanely clean and helps them stay clean longer. Plus, with the little ones running around, I know that it's safe for the kids, and I love that it's safe for the pets as well. It's a Maha approach to cleaning your home. If you check the reviews, it's obvious that I'm not the only one that backs these guys. Thousands of families around Nashville are using them, and they are impressed as well. Right now is the perfect time to get your carpets clean. Get on the schedule. Call 615-535-9376. That's 615-535-9376. Ask them about their 2- and 3-room specials, and you can always book online, ZeroResNashville.com.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
Hey, Jerry, guess who's in the Epstein files?
What?
Kramer.
Are you willing to end this conflict with Iran charging tolls for passage through the strait?
Us charging tolls?
Iran.
What about us charging tolls?
Is that something you're considering?
I'd rather do that than let them have them, right? Why shouldn't we? We're the winner. We won, okay? They are militarily defeated. The only thing they have is the psychology of, oh, we're going to drop a couple of mines in the water, all right? No, we have a concept where we'll charge tolls, okay? I thought you meant us.
37 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show is brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to the show on all the apps, the FM dial. You can watch us as well. Super Talk TV, up and running. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. The last two are the big ones. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. So the Democrats now they figured it out. I don't know if you know this. They figured it out. Rep. Eugene Vindman is on CNN this morning, coming to CNN live from Woodbridge, Virginia, where he is a representative for Virginia's 7th congressional district. He's the twin brother of Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, in case you're watching and you're like, that guy looks familiar, or you're hearing it on the radio and you're like, that name sounds familiar. Where have I heard that name before? Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman testified before the United States Congress regarding the Trump-Ukraine scandal, the very fine phone call, that hoax that was pushed against the president, to show that he was a tyrant and a Nazi, all the things. He nailed it. He figured out what they need to do. They need to hold social media accountable.
Congress has not managed to regulate social media at all, really. What's it going to take, you think? Is this something that needs to be addressed?
It is absolutely something that needs to be addressed. I think this is a significant deficiency in current law, and I think social media needs to be held accountable. We've had recent cases that have held social media accountable for deaths of children. And I think as we fully start to understand now, a decade and more into having social media, the dangers associated with it, we need to better regulate social media.
Yeah, that's a good call. We need to tighten up social media. The guy's manifesto contained nothing but Democrat talking points. But it's social media that's the problem. Not CNN, not MS Now, not ABC, CBS, NBC. No, my friends. It's social media. Oh. I had no idea.
I should have guessed.
I don't know why we didn't go there first.
Should have been our first option. Only option.
This is why he's a congressional representative in Virginia, and we're but humble meme farmers on the radio in Tennessee. We don't have the IQ to keep up with these guys. We're too smooth-brained, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, this is a guy, okay? This is a guy who in his manifesto, he bought all the talking points. He bought every single mainstream media lie. Hello, everybody. So I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone whose trust I abused. This is Cole Allen's manifesto. I apologize to my parents for saying I had an interview without specifying it was for Most Wanted. I apologize to my colleagues and students for saying I had a personal emergency. By the time they read this, I probably most certainly do need to go to the ER, but can hardly call that not a self-inflicted status. I apologize to all the people I traveled next to, all the workers who handled my luggage, and all the other non-targeted people at the hotel who I put in danger simply by being near. I apologize to everyone who was abused and or murdered before this, to all those who suffered before I was able to attempt this, to all who may still suffer after, regardless of my success or failure. I don't expect forgiveness, but if I could have seen any other way to get this close, I would have taken it. Again, my sincere apologies. On to why I did any of this. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflects on me. I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. Again, every Democrat talking point in the book, down to the toxic empathy, on full display. This is a lunatic who was down there at No Kings protests. I mean, we have video of him at No Kings rallies. And what should we do again? We got to tamp down on social media?
Congress has not managed to regulate social media at all, really. What's it going to take, you think? Is this something that needs to be addressed?
It is absolutely something that needs to be addressed. I think this is a significant deficiency in current law, and I think social media needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, they should. I mean, that's where all the conspiracy theories are happening, right? Yeah, exactly. Ken Delanian said that he was bombarded by conspiracy theories from the far left. And how can anyone survive these conspiracy theories?
Explicitly say he was targeting Donald Trump, and he says he was targeting Trump administration officials. He apologizes to his family in this post. There's some evidence that he attended or was associated with a No Kings protest. So it really fits the pattern of what we've seen with Luigi Mangione, accused of killing the United Healthcare CEO, or Tyler Robinson, accused of killing Charlie Kirk, of the sort of people on the far left fringes who have become radicalized, who are living in a world of unreality, bombarded by conspiracy theories.
Who's bombarding them with conspiracy theories? Is it social media, or is it the mainstream media for 10 years pushing the very fine people hoax? Is it the mainstream media who pushed the impeachment hoaxes? Is it the mainstream media that pushed the Russia collusion hoaxes? Is it the mainstream media that calls him a Nazi and a tyrant and a fascist? It's the mainstream media and Democrat politicians that refer to our ICE agents as Gestapos, secret police, and tyrants. So who's bombarding him with these conspiracy theories? I don't think it's Twitter. I don't think it's Elon Musk. In fact, at last I checked, a lot of these leftists left Twitter. They're over on Blue Sky, where you're allowed to say some of the most heinous things. In fact, last night on social media, as Erica Kirk, the video got released of her leaving the venue crying because obviously she has a bit of PTSD in these kinds of situations, that they're making fun of her. They're making fun of her. These people are sick. These people are disgusting. It doesn't shock me at all. Let's regulate social media. We have to. How about we regulate the mainstream media, make them tell the truth again? Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, Democrats and their allies were already pivoting this to gun violence. Jamie Raskin acted so shocked when he was confronted with the fact that maybe Democrat rhetoric caused this, but then he got on a friendly news outlet on Sunday morning with Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation, and they basically had a powwow on gun violence.
So that launched a conversation about gun violence and how, somewhere between 275 and 300 people are shot every day in our country, and we lose more than 100 of them every day. So even as this nightmare was unfolding at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, dozens and dozens of people had been shot and killed in our country. And so I hope this isn't just an inside the Beltway story. I hope we talk about the conditions for school children and people all over the country who are dealing with this.
Yeah, if only the president had offered to send in federal reinforcements to these cities dealing with gun violence to help them out, and they accepted like Memphis did, and they saw a drastic drop in crime. But they don't take the help in Chicago or L.A. or New York. It's all about this is a gun violence issue, guys. This is a rhetoric issue. MS Now, they get on the air and they said, we have to discuss how this rhetoric is leading to political violence. But the question is, will the president lead?
But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts and resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences.
That was President Trump calling on Americans to resolve their differences following the shooting that took place at tonight's White House Correspondents' Dinner. The question always, will the president lead in that effort?
Oh, okay. Yep, it's Trump's fault again, you guys. I hope you know that. It's always Trump's fault. When conservatives are murdered for free speech, it's Trump's fault. When Teslas are firebombed because Elon had the audacity to support Trump, it's Trump's fault. When Donald Trump himself is a target of violence repeatedly, it is Trump's fault. Got it. Then MS Now, they had another segment where they were talking about political violence and the rhetoric, and they said, we have to get to the bottom of this. Both sides need to stop talking about it's a both sides issue.
What is the antidote to political violence right now? I mean, is this something that we can legislate our way out of, or is this strictly a problem of rhetoric and our online avenues to radicalization that people have access to when deciding to make decisions to pursue violence, and the kind of operation that this suspect had in mind last night?
Yeah, we want to protect free speech, but we
also need to look out for political rhetoric that incites violence or encourages violence in any way. So I think the rhetoric is a big part of it. I also know that
Who's rhetoric? And where's that rhetoric coming from? Let's regulate social media and stop this rhetoric. Let's tamp down on guns because this is a gun violence issue. No. This is a Trump derangement issue. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was on Face the Nation as well, and when Margaret Brennan tried to make the shooting into a gun control debate, he shut that down very, very quickly.
So the alleged shooter, as we just said, had multiple weapons in his possession. Here in the District of Columbia, open carry is not permitted. You just said he traveled from California across the country by train. At this point, are you thinking at the federal level of changing security protocols in any way to, for example, match on trains what you are expected to go through when you fly, where you do have to declare a weapon when you cross state lines? How did he travel by train without any challenge and arrive here in the nation's capital?
And look, this isn't about, in my mind, changing the law or making the laws more restrictive around possession of firearms. It appears he purchased these firearms the past couple of years. We don't know how those firearms ended up in his possession in D.C. We can make some assumptions based upon what I just said about how he got to D.C. But I don't think the narrative here is about changing laws or making our laws more restrictive. This is about law enforcement who are doing their jobs and a suspect who tried to do something and failed miserably.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about changing the law in terms of possession of a firearm. I'm asking about crossing state lines with that firearm and arriving in the Capitol. If you try to fly, you do have to have your firearms declared in some way. You don't when you get on a train.
Well, look, you are talking about, I mean, if we're asking the question, that's talking about changing the laws, and I don't think that's something that we should be focused on right now in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, not a loophole.
There are lots of ways that. Yeah, so I mean, look, we also don't know. We don't have all the answers this morning. We're still looking into what happened, how he got the guns, if he got them legally. But what we do know is that he tried to use them. He did have 2 firearms and some knives on his person when he tried to use them, and he was stopped before he got anywhere near the president, before he got near any of us that were in the room at the time of that this occurred. And that's again, we can't overlook, and I'm not suggesting you are, but we can't overlook the great work of the Secret Service last.
Yeah, we shouldn't undersell how great the Secret Service was. They did handle that very, very quickly. But the just absolute vile mainstream media already wanted to turn this into a gun control issue without talking about or analyzing the rhetoric that is coming from their side is absolutely asinine. Scott Jennings on CNN going scorched earth.
Is not the only people doing this, and the right does just as much online.
You can understand why we're on edge as conservatives, though. 3 times the president, Steve Scalise, Brett Kavanaugh, Charlie Kirk. Heck, there was even a plot against Russ Vought the other day, who's the head of the Office of Management and Budget. I mean, conservatives are, I think, rightfully on edge because this keeps happening over and over and over again, and people keep calling Donald Trump a Nazi, and they keep calling him a fascist, and they keep repeating lies about him that are not true, yet they keep getting repeated regarding Epstein and other things. I'm just telling you, as a conservative who lives in this every day, my friend was murdered last year, my president's had 3 assassination attempts. I have a knot in my stomach about it every day that I wake up.
I think a lot of us do. Also, 8 assassination attempts by our count. 1051, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yesterday in your Truth Social, you called the Iranians crazy bastards.
True.
What is your response to critics who say that...
I don't care about critics.
What is your response to critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues?
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything, for many years until I came along. So if that's the case, you're going to have more people.
卵の価格は下がっている。ダウ平均は5万ポイントを超えている。こんな負け犬どもの言うことを聞くな。アメリカは復活した。
We're going to break down the severe weather threat for you coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the headlines, Ken, but there's nothing going on today.
Nothing.
So.
Yeah, it was a real quiet Saturday.
We wish you the best of luck figuring out what to do. It's a tough gig.
It is. Maybe there will be a run on, I don't know, kittens and puppies over at the local animal control shelter.
There might be. Maybe there's a blood drive you can highlight.
Could be.
Well, you got less than 3 minutes to figure out what to talk about in the news. My name is Chris Hand. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Mike Johnson moments ago on Fox News.
John Fetterman shot out hours after this incident on Saturday night. On X, he said, "We were there front and center. That venue wasn't built to accommodate an event with the line of succession for the U.S. government. After witnessing last night, drop the TDS, the Trump Derangement Syndrome, and build the White House ballroom for events exactly like these." Are you hearing enough from your Democratic colleagues on the tone that Senator Fetterman struck there?
No, he's a rare voice in that camp, and we need more of that. In fact, they've done the opposite. They've incited violence, in my view. I mean, you have some of the most prominent figures in the House and the Senate on the Democrat side effectively, calling for war. I mean, they use those kinds of metaphors, and it incites violence because there are crazy people in society, and they get radicalized online. And so we've got to recognize that it's time to turn down the rhetoric. We've been saying this over and over, and not use that kind of language. I hope that this will be a sobering reminder for everybody about that very important cause. I'm grateful to Fetterman. He's right. The ballroom will be a solution for this, because it'll be on the most secure compound in the world. It won't have hotel rooms above it, and it'll have 7-inch thick glass, for example, on the windows. So it'll be a very safe environment to do events like this. We need a place. We have needed a place like that, and the president keeps pointing it out.
Yeah, that's a necessity. I mean, at this point, did they drop that lawsuit yet? They had said the DOJ had asked them to drop the lawsuit by 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll see. I'll check that during the break and see if they have obliged them yet. But they'll tell us that no, guns are the issue, and also the biggest terror threat, the biggest threat to the nation. This is from the Democrats. Is white men. That's what we get all the time. It's the most dangerous thing you can be in this country is a white man, which is so weird.
Level. And by the way, this whole thing they talk about the white culture, and let me tell you, it's all about the white culture. This, and we have a problem with this. Every one of these guys, as much as they bash the white culture in America, they only marry white people. Kamala Harris's spouse, white. Ilhan Omar's spouse, white. AOC spouse, white. Every one of these guys, you keep talking about them. They're trying to go to that. It's not working.
Well, keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer, obviously. We'll bring you some comments from FBI Director Kash Patel earlier this morning. Take some more of your phone calls as well. It's 11 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Eleven o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, and severe weather is expected across Middle Tennessee later today and into tonight. Storms forecast to move in early this evening from the northwest and spread across the region overnight. Damaging wind gusts the main concern. A few storms capable of large hail or isolated tornadoes. The severe threat lasts from about 8 o'clock tonight through early tomorrow morning. So have multiple ways to get your warnings. We will be here to let you know just in case any tornadoes pop out of any of these storms that might develop. There were more than a dozen tornadoes over the weekend, says ABC's Alex Perez.
Missouri pounded by hail. This supercell near Interstate 49, large stones littering the highway. Deadly storms across North Texas. Hail. Lightning,
large wedge tornado,
and tornadoes where at least 2 people have died in storm-related deaths.
Stay with Super Talk 99.7 WTN for complete coverage. Follow, like, and subscribe on YouTube, X, Rumble, Facebook, or just listen to us on the good old radio. Well, the White House holding meetings regarding security today in the week of the incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. Secret Service conducting an after-action review on possible lapses when authorities say a gunman ran past security in an effort to try to get inside the ballroom at the Washington Hilton. Sources have also told news media that the suspected shooter used a staircase away from the public entrances and exits, and that he was a guest at the hotel. ABC News contributor and former FBI agent Brad Garrett talks about the difficulty of securing a hotel before high-profile events.
Any way that you can get to the ballroom, people should not have access, or at least has to go through a human person, a Secret Service agent or uniformed officer. But I'm going to guess here that because of fire codes, you can't lock down that elevator. Yes, you could put a Secret Service agent in the stairwell, of course, but you couldn't shut down the stairwell just because of fire, etc.
Operation Epic Fury. ABC News contributor and former Defense Department official Mick Mulroy says both sides, Iran and the U.S., seem to be far apart, especially when it comes to enriched uranium.
That likely will mean that Iran can't even enrich. So not only no chance at a nuclear weapon, but can't even enrich up to the level where they could use civilian purposes, or essentially we'd be going right back to the agreement we pulled out of. So I think that's a core issue for the United States. But from Iran's perspective, they don't want to permanently give up their a sovereign ability to enrich uranium.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Six minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We're on all the apps. We're on the FM dial. We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. Find us wherever you want to be. We appreciate you tuning in to the show. However you may be tuning into the show, and you can join us, 615-737-9986. That's the phone number. That's the text number as well. Tony, our favorite Canadian in Montreal, is on the line. What's up, Tony? How are you?
Chris, how you doing? I was listening to you guys earlier. I was listening to your earlier show with your colleague, Mandis. And I just want to say to Tennessee people and whoever is listening in the border states, our country has the toughest gun laws probably on the planet, probably more stiff, a lot tighter than even in Europe. We're not allowed handguns here. We're allowed hunting rifles. We're a hunting family. My son is a hunter. As I said last time, we were hoping for the opening of the wild turkey season, which was just Friday night, midnight.
Yep.
We hunt. My son was hunting this weekend on the New Hampshire border of Quebec. And I just want to say the people in Montreal experienced I forget, it was December 9th, December 7th, back in 1986. 13 people were killed at University of Montreal by a psychopath gunman who had a thing about feminists that were in engineering school. So this man got a gun and shot 13 women, wounded a whole bunch of other people. And, of course, from there we went into overdrive into banning guns. And we have banned guns. But the thing is, in St. Louis yesterday, it was a gentleman that was carjacked. And the carjacker shot the driver in the leg or in the body somewhere. But the gentleman in the car had a handgun that killed him. And my reaction was good. And I was very happy that he punched a couple of holes in him, because Tony would have punched a hell of a lot more holes in him. But when I'm in Montreal and someone does something to me, I just got a baseball bat or a winching bar. That's about it. Not that I'm going to advocate for violence in a traffic situation, but if someone's going to steal my car, that's the only thing I have.
we got to advocate for self-defense.
Well, no one here cares about that, Chris, because if you have a family of 3 kids in the back of the car, someone points a gun at us. It's always funny. All these gun control people, right away they're calling it gun control. But the psychopath had enough intelligence and had control of himself. A person that is non-compos mentis, which means in law unavailable to his mind is out of control, would not get on a bus, a train, come across and write apology letters. He had a vision to eliminate the entire cabinet and the president of the United States, the most powerful person, the leader of the free world, because he didn't like what the legacy media said he was. The legacy media, okay, up here in Canada, we hear what they say. Trump is deranged. Trump is a Gestapo agent. He's a tyrant, a dictator, a Hitler. But what about Tyler Robinson and Mangione and the Butler shooter? All of these people have been eating the poison or drinking the Kool-Aid, because you have people saying to Melania, you're a glowing widow to be. I mean, this guy on TV,
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, he should be banned, not because of his free speech, but he's an insurrectionist. There's a difference between protest and yelling fire in a cinema.
Yep.
Your Supreme Court of the United States said that you cannot use that type of language to incite violence. So anybody in Minnesota that is using the free speech advocacy as insurrection, rioting, and using violence is not exercising free speech. Free speech is you and I, what we're talking about. I could call my prime minister a huckster, which is what he is. Okay, he's a flip-flopper, and he doesn't support the United States because on one day he supports you, and then he says, I won't support you in Iran. So I think very clearly that, Trump is being attacked, and they're saying if you lose the congressional upcoming elections, we're going to impeach you, we're going to jail you, and anybody supporting ICE, we're going to jail. Well, why don't we just get rid of the legal system and let you guys run the system? If you did, you'd have everybody shot in the United States. The reason that they hate him, Chris, is he's too charismatic. He's a person that would have got 100 million votes if you had a really clean election. A clean election to me is like in Canada. When you go to the polling booth, Chris, in Canada, you got to come with an election card. It's sent to you 30 days before. It has your name, it has your address, it has all your details. Then you go to the polling.
Whoa, that's pretty racist, Tony.
Oh, yeah, real racist. Everybody here in Canada does it. 100% support that. If you go to a municipal election, or what's called a provincial election, which is a state election, or a federal election, you got to have that card.
Whoa.
Everywhere in Canada, you don't have that card plus a passport or an ID. And your ID, it doesn't have to be a passport. It could be a driver's license or even a bill from Hydro-Quebec that says you live at that address. You can vote, okay? And they vet you at the door when you come in. And if you don't agree with them, there's a lawyer on hand to dispute or to deal with the dispute. So what I'm saying is, if Trump had that in the United States, you guys would have Republican governments probably at the same frequency that you would have Democrat governments. Because when you have the redistricting scam that they started with Newsom in California that triggered this, and Pritzker and Michigan with all of their crooked state officials, okay, and then you have Spamberger doing the same thing 10-1 now rather than 5-6 or 6-5.
Yep.
That type of redistribution creates reasons for Democrats. And the Supreme Court of the United States said the redistricting in Texas was legal because they waited the sufficient amount of time, the 10-year period or whatever the period is. I don't know if it's 8 years or 2 elections. And if there's a change in the actual population, then you can redistrict. That's the simple counter to gerrymandering. But automatically saying that you're filtering the system and deciding that you're going to redistrict because you're trying to react to Texas, well, there in itself is the mens rea for I would call corruption.
Yep.
So the Democrats, they practice what I call cash corruption and criminality. That is their agenda for the United States.
Yeah.
The last thing, I know that you work with Charlie, okay? Charlie to me is a hero. Charlie's a hero because he believed in the Bible, he believed in Christ, Jesus, he believed in country, and he believed on everybody. He gave everybody a shot. And to chill his voice and to eliminate that genius of a man shows the impact of how fearful the Democrats are of people on the right that can express themselves and to be truthful to their country and love their country. Like I love my country, like Chris, you love your country. We are Christians that love each other and not despise each other, okay?
Right.
When Trump says he wants to take over Canada, we know that's just a bunch of talk. But at the end of the day, we are destroying our own country with debt. And I said to your producer, I don't know how many trillions you are in debt.
39.
Trillion, okay?
39.
39, okay? But we're close to like almost 8 trillion, but we have 10 times less the population. So if you pro rata that, we're 80 trillion in debt. Who's going to destroy Canada? We are. The debt structure of the liberal agenda in this country that spends what we can't afford. And Trump is talking about the same thing. We must get back to a balanced budget and reality, get back to when we were living normally in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Black people were richer in the United States in the 40s and the 50s than they are today. And the Great Society did not work. It has failed.
You're absolutely right.
In Canada, and it has failed in the United States. And you know what? I'll tell the producer this. You guys give me a voice, okay? I'm silenced in Montreal. CJAD is a liberal left-wing news station. The first time I got on there, they go, oh, no, this guy's not getting on anymore. This guy's too right-wing. Well, you know what? 50% of I'm not a right-winger. I'm a normal person, okay?
Yep. Amen.
I just want peace.
Peace and prosperity. That's what we all want. Peace and prosperity. Tony, I love the calls, man. Call in anytime. I'm afraid for Tony sometimes with all the truth that he spews, he's going to get black bagged one day in Canada. A van's going to pull up outside his house. Mind you, all of this is going on, and we still have a government shutdown because of the Democrats. Secret Service Director Sean Curran was discussing with Harris Faulkner, and he says that there's already been a huge uptick in threat cases. Listen to this.
Just days before the shooting, the Secret Service director had a warning.
Just in the last 10 days, we've seen a significant uptick in threat cases. We're going to need more resources to keep pace. Last year, we conducted 7,182 protective visits, and we are on pace to exceed that this year. These numbers are astronomical. We've screened over 2.4 million people, which is more than double what we've done in previous years. Frankly, our workforce isn't big enough to keep up with those demands, but we're working to fix that.
In focus now, Jason Chaffetz, former Oversight Committee chairman, an important role right now to kind of dig into, and a Fox News contributor. Jason, when you were at Oversight, you did an in-depth analysis on the Secret Service. Tell us about it.
We looked at over 100 security incidents, and I got to tell you, I don't think much has changed over the last 10 years. And let's remember, the Secret Service is about 1,000 agents shy of just a normal staffing level. And then, as you pointed out, the World Cup, America 250, and then you have a presidential election where Democrats are also going to need to get some Secret Service protection. So, Democrats, you made your point about what you want to do with ICE. You know, do that at the election. Make your case to the American people. But you've got to fund these people. One of the places that's not funded is FLETC, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. Guess what? That's where all these people get trained. And they are not properly trained. It is a fiasco. That extraction of President Trump that you see on the screen was abysmal. Why aren't people fired for that? President Trump was the last one off the stage. Are you kidding me? Everybody else was cleared out. J.D. Vance was sitting in his car by then, and the president is the last person to be extracted off the stage. It is an embarrassment, it is dangerous, and it has to change.
Yeah, and it's not going to change anytime soon. I mean, I don't see the Democrats bending a knee when it comes to the funding of DHS. They should. I mean, given everything that we know, the conflict with Iran, the sleeper cells, the terror threats, the threats against the president, yes, this should change. We're coming up to elections. We're going to have Democrats that need to be protected as well. All of this should change. It's probably not going to. Scott Jennings was talking about this on CNN. This is chaos caused by the Democrats.
Yeah, I've been in this room on the air live twice now when somebody tried to come in and kill the president. I mean, it's pretty obvious that's what this guy wanted to do, cause maximum damage with the president in the room. I worry about him every day, and I worry about these events. I mean, all those people, I mean, think about it. President, vice president, most of the line of succession was in the same room, and somebody was able to get that close. It's scary, frankly. I'll be honest with you, conservatives feel under attack. I mean, we've had Charlie, we've had 2, 3 assassination attempts on the president. Eight. I'm hearing a lot of that this morning. I thought the president was amazing last night. The guy's unflappable. He goes to the White House podium and struck the exact right tone. His rapport with Wei Zhejiang, the head of the White House Correspondents Association, was excellent. I think, you know, they had all gone through something together, and the way he handled it was right on, in my opinion. Final issue for me, law enforcement. These guys are heroes. The guy who took a bullet is a Secret Service agent. He's going to be okay. We're not paying these guys. It's outrageous. 70 days, the Department of Homeland Security with the Secret Service tucked under there, unfunded. It's outrageous. And the people who've got it shut down right now ought to think long and hard about that night last night. And, you know, what that means to a cop who has to show up and take a bullet. Every American ought to be outraged by it.
He's absolutely right. I don't think the Democrats are going to change their tone. I just don't. Kash Patel, earlier this morning, talking about what we have seen over the past 48 hours.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on. First and foremost, I want to remind your audience of President Trump's leadership, literally courage under fire that evening at the press conference to announce to the world and be as transparent as possible. He's assembled the greatest law enforcement team that I've ever seen. And between myself and Mark Mullen and the interagency in the White House, we are prepared to tackle this investigation as we've done since it started.
We do know that the shooter is going to be in court today, 1:45 Eastern, 12:45 Central Time. Kash Patel discussing the reality of what we're seeing.
I mean, just remind everyone, this was almost the entirety of the president's cabinet, the president, vice president himself, and 2,000 members of the media. This is something the movies don't even write about, something like this kind of scenario, this kind of tragedy. And thankfully, the quick reaction of law enforcement, we're going to be able to present to the world in less than 36 hours almost, exactly what happened, this individual's entire background, who he knew, where he lived, who he was talking to, everything about the firearms, everything about the ballistics.
I mean, if you were online pretty much in the hours after the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, you were pretty well briefed. That's how quickly the weaponized autists online discovered just about everything on this Teacher of the Month from California, Cole Allen. But we're going to be putting the lies to bed, says FBI Director Kash Patel.
I want to remind your audience of President Trump's leadership, literally courage under fire that evening at the press conference to announce to the world and be as transparent as possible. He's assembled the greatest law enforcement team that I've ever seen. And between myself and Mark Mullen and the interagency in the White House, we are prepared to tackle this investigation as we've done since it started. We immediately, for the FBI, dispatched evidence response teams, a mobile command center, stood up our NC3 National Crisis Coordination Center at headquarters, and flexed in our expert capabilities in technical analysis. We conducted interviews literally across the country in multiple jurisdictions in less than 24 hours after this tragic event, and also used FBI fixed-wing assets to transport evidence from across the country to Quantico so it can be analyzed quickly, because we believe in the necessity for speed and doing this properly, which is why we've done this investigation above board with our partners at DOJ, and which is also why just over 24 hours after this tragic incident, you'll be seeing myself and Attorney General Todd Blanche address the nation with actual details relating to this event.
We'll be looking forward to those updates. I mean, the FBI sprang into action. I don't even think that the room had cleared at the Hilton in D.C. before FBI officials were on the ground in California searching Cole Allen's property. They did an unbelievable job, and we're going to be learning more as the day goes along. Again, 12:45 our time, Cole Allen due in court. It's 11:22. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friend Dr. Mitchell over at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. And if you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, sciatica, herniated or bulging discs, spinal stenosis, numbness, weakness in your arms, legs, fingers, or toes, you know you don't have to live that way. You may have been living that way for years, and you don't think anybody can help you. Have you talked to Dr. Mitchell yet? My name is Chris Hand. The Wellness Institute of Nashville has my seal of approval on this deal that could change your life. 47% off non-surgical spinal decompression. On top of that, this is the first and only office in Tennessee with the brand new HydroWave technology that will stimulate your own stem cells for healing at the cellular level. This is not basic therapy that you're going to get at the Wellness Institute. We're talking robotic lasers, anti-gravity machines, cryotherapy, and more. This is why Dr. Mitchell needs to be your doctor. And if you've been to doctor after doctor with no one helping you with your pain, this is the chance that you need to take. Bring your MRI. They'll take x-rays if needed, and it'll walk you through exactly what's happening, plus give you a treatment plan to fix the problem once and for all. A pain-free life is within reach. It starts with a phone call, 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. If you've been dealing with pain for years, what do you have to lose? Visit painisbad.com.
Franklin, we've got a crash blocking the left shoulder, 65 northbound there before Murfreesboro Road. And we are under risk of severe weather tonight with all the things. I'll break it down for you coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. We got our friend Bonnie in Tullahoma who's been waiting on the line to talk. What's up, Bonnie? How are you?
Yes, thank you for accepting my call.
Absolutely. What do you got?
Well, I am concerned about the security for President Trump and all that, you know, with all that stuff going on. That's crazy. But what I don't understand, and I know there's a lot of Republicans listening, and I know there's Democrats listening, and I don't understand why Donald Trump, and I know you're going to have something maybe to say, but he hasn't been up front with us. I voted for the man. He hasn't been up front, and I'm not going to say he's lied to us, but he said he would lower the food prices, and he hasn't done it. He said that he would make living affordable for the younger people, which I'm not young, but you don't see nothing going down. Whoopity-doo, something's gone down 2 or 3 cents. Let's get excited. And, you know, the gas is still high, and I hear a lot of people that are educated, older people say once it gets up, it's hard to get the prices down. So,
Yep, up like a rocket, down like a feather. I mean, obviously the gas prices are inflated right now because of the conflict in Iran. And I feel you on grocery prices. I think some of it's come down a little bit, but I don't think I'm with you. I don't think it's like overwhelming. You know, where we can like be like, holy cow, this is fantastic. But you know, I think
are
that. Are
you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you?
Okay. Just want to say one thing. I know there's a lot of people that like to talk and all that, so I'm not Miss Mouth on the phone. But, you know, he did say those 2 things, and he said a few more things. The Ukraine war, I'm going to stop that in 24 hours. I mean, he was just up there just mouthing. And you know, he's so concerned about getting into these other countries and accomplishing whatever it is that he's trying to accomplish.
Okay, I mean, well, then what? I guess you're disappointed, and I understand that. But I guess my question would be, do you think it would be better with Kamala Harris in office?
Well, probably not. But
okay, so I mean, so I can understand your frustration. But do you think that he's not working to make lives better for the American people? Do you think he's not trying to end the war in Ukraine?
I just want to say this, and I'm not trying to start no argument. I'm sure there's be other people calling in about this, but I don't really think that Donald Trump is for the poor working class people. He's more for the rich, because when he keeps those prices up, it helps all these rich people that's got these damn companies.
Does no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security only benefit the rich?
Well, honey, that ain't much.
Okay, well, all right, fair enough. It's not much. Does sealing the border and not allowing illegal aliens into the country only benefit the rich?
Well, that's helping, but you know, I eat at these couple of restaurants, and I've been hearing them say the lettuce is bad. We can't get any lettuce.
But I guess my question would be is what's your alternative, and do you truly believe that he's not working to make life better for Americans?
I think he is in some ways, but you know what? If he can skin cats in Iran and big stuff, you know he can get our damn prices down over here in America. Come on.
Okay, I mean, he's working. We got, what was it, like $20 trillion of investments, the reshoring of manufacturing. A lot of jobs are coming back. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of fruit from that yet because they still got to build the factories, but we've got a lot of commitments and a lot of investment in the country. I do think that there are some things that you can point to and say, yeah, he didn't end the war in Ukraine. And yeah, the Iran war wasn't a core campaign promise. In fact, it was the opposite. But I would still lean on the fact that I do believe that he has the benefit of the country in mind with every decision that he makes. Whether we agree or disagree, that's, you know, with the president, I do think that he's making these moves with the country in mind.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you called.
It's neither here nor there. But I do think so many people are smitten with Donald Trump. He's funny and he's kind of cute. He throws that hair back. He can be funny.
I'm more chuckling about the kind of cute part.
Well, he's just funny. He does that little dance. People are smitten with him.
Okay.
And, you know, hey, I'm over the smitten. Get the prices down.
I hear you, Bonnie, and I appreciate the call. It's 11:32. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And Middle Tennessee under a severe weather threat today and tonight. Beginning later this afternoon in the northwest, storms are going to push east during the evening and overnight hours. Damaging winds, the primary hazard, with a low risk for tornadoes and hail in the strongest storms. You can stay weather aware right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're going to be here watching it for you. Meanwhile, nearly 24 families are looking for places to stay after a pair of tornadoes touched down in North Texas over the weekend.
2 people were killed in the tornadoes, including a 69-year-old woman whose mobile home was destroyed. First responders say many others were hurt.
When everything was over, my brother had to dig my parents out of the debris.
Grayson Allen lives in the hard-hit community of Runaway Bay, northwest of Fort Worth.
My dad has a fracture in his neck. My mom had a broken back.
One of the twisters was an EF1, the other ranked EF2, with winds reaching 135 miles per hour. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
The White House Correspondents Association dinner suspect is due in court at 12:45 Middle Tennessee time. Meanwhile, the White House holding meetings regarding security today in the wake of that gunman running past security in that hotel trying to get to the Trump administration. ABC News contributor and former FBI agent Brad Garrett talks about the difficulty of securing a hotel before high-profile events.
The ability of any security apparatus to literally check 1,100 people checking in and out of rooms. It's not the same, but think about as you get on the metro in D.C. or New York or wherever it might be, I mean, you couldn't check people. The volume is too great. The atmosphere is such that it's just a built-in vulnerability.
That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
A little behind the scenes. Mason's on the phone. He knows I have a commercial coming up. And since he's on the phone, I said to him, hey, I'm going to go get water. I'll be right back.
And I was like, no. Wait.
Just raising the heart levels a little bit. We'll take more of your phone calls on the way. In the meantime, I got to tell you about my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They got the brand new Spring Breathe Easy package going on right now. This is designed to help homeowners clear out dust, allergens, and the pet dander before the summer heat arrives. This powerful package includes an AC tune-up, plus a professional indoor air quality check to make sure you and your family are breathing the cleanest, healthiest air possible. You're going to receive a duct inspection and a premium air duct cleaning. It's going to remove the built-up debris that's hiding way deep in the back of your system. But that's not all. Busy Bee's also going to install a whole home germicidal system to help reduce airborne contaminants. And with premium service, you'll get a bonus unit fog deodorizer that's going to leave your system so fresh and so clean, just like spring itself. This is all going to come to you for just $11.99 on 1.5 to 3 ton systems, regularly $1,800, or $15.99 on 3.5 to 5 ton units, regularly $20.99. Call 615-775-7833. Take advantage of this today. That's 775-7833, or find them online, busybeehvac.com. 38 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. We're going to be jumping into the lightning round here momentarily. I got a couple callers to get on real quick that want to respond to Bonnie. Just want to preface it with hey, Brian and Wayne, be nice. All right. Well, Bonnie seems very, very sweet.
Bonnie's great.
I don't think there's a mean bone in Bonnie's body.
No.
So let's be kind to Bonnie. Brian in Lebanon, you're up first. What's up?
I also want to call and respond to the last caller.
Yes, sir.
To Bonnie.
Yep.
Well, she was talking about Donald Trump's not doing anything to get the prices down. I mean, what kind of magic wand is he supposed to have? No, I don't care who you put in office. Biden messed this country up so bad and drove inflation up so bad. What president could? I mean, I don't care who's president. Who could fix that?
Yeah.
In the amount of time he's been in office.
Less than a year and a half.
Right. I mean, how is he supposed to have done anything to fix it and it show up, and us actually feel the effect of it this quick?
I mean, I do think that there are some reasonable pushbacks against the president, especially when it comes to gas prices, because we know that ripples through the economy faster than anything. And we've seen the price of oil just go through the roof since the Iran conflict started. And I think as conservatives,
I agree.
I think we got to be honest, and I think that we got to call balls and strikes here. Otherwise, we'll be the cultists that they accuse us of being. We have to be fair.
But do you think Kamala Harris, like you said earlier, do you think Kamala Harris would have done it better? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. Not only that, Kamala Harris would have said that we need to have all electric vehicles. All of those mandates would have been in place. The country wouldn't have been able to survive that. They would have ruined the car manufacturers. They would have never reshored any of the businesses that Donald Trump has been reshoring. I think Biden during his term got $1 trillion of investment over 4 years. And in the first, 100 days, they were up to $16 trillion in investment. I think it's up to $21 trillion in investment now. I mean, what he's doing for the country, he's planting a lot of seeds that we have yet to see the fruit from.
That's right. And the tree doesn't grow overnight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Hey, I appreciate the call, Brian. Let's go to Wayne in Cookville. What's up, Wayne?
Hello there.
What do you got?
Everyone has made valid points about Trump's situation, but no one is pointing the finger at our elected officials. How many bills have those clowns passed in the 18 months he's been in office? One.
You're absolutely right. The Senate, the Senate has been terrible.
Right. They need to neuter, tune, and pass the filibuster and take and do a sweep and put all these things into law so that things will start happening. When people do nothing, guess what's going to happen?
Evil will win, my friend.
Yes, and that's all we hear.
You
Trump
think
that?
Sorry about that.
He initiated it, but someone has to help him.
He can't do everything via executive order, or it's all going to be undone via executive order the moment he leaves office.
Exactly. So,
well, and I think the thing that's the most infuriating is with the gas prices up, with the unpopular conflict in Iran, I'm looking at, 6 more months of us having control here of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, where we have the triad, where we have all of the power, we have all the cards. And if the Democrats had this for a second, they would nuke that filibuster overnight, and we would never regain power again because 30 million illegal aliens would be amnestied. They would make D.C. and Puerto Rico a state. They would stack the Supreme Court, and our chances of ever getting all three again are going to be slim to none.
Unfortunately, the only person in our whole government that has any gonads is Trump.
You're
the rest of
right.
them have none.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Wayne, I appreciate the call. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. But right now, it's time for the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
You're a little late to the music there, bud.
It's a little anticipation.
There's a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, I'm back in the driver's seat for the lightning round this time.
Mason basically took the last week off while he was training people.
I wouldn't say that, but
what? Yeah, you didn't really do a great job.
I got
training.
a vacation from you.
Oh. Right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be on.
I, too, would put air quotes around training.
Listen, don't mention my nap on the air.
All right, first story in the lightning round. Senator Ron Johnson went nuclear yesterday, demanding that the GOP get rid of the filibuster and pass everything we need after the left made it very clear that they are traitors and they hate the country.
You think this is a moment in time that you actually could remove the filibuster to get funding done because we are in the middle of a war after all?
Well, we did not have the votes when Democrats were being so obnoxiously obstructionist on just nominations. We didn't have the votes to basically nuke the filibuster on all nominees. But in the end, Democrats were so obnoxious, we had all 53 Republican senators go, yeah, no, we need to start confirming nominees with just 50 votes. This may be a moment like that. Okay, I mean, again, it's a legitimate point of view, wanting to maintain the filibuster to, if we're in the minority, to block awful socialist, leftist legislation. But the Senate's already broken enough. We've pretty well eviscerated the filibuster anyway. From my standpoint, rip the Band-Aid off. The Democrats will do it. The Democrats will do it when they get the majority. At a moment of national danger, if Democrats refuse to fund DHS, I would say this would be the time to nuke the filibuster for good.
Yeah, I agree with him. The Democrats will do it the moment they get a chance. Got another serve right here in the lightning round.
Listen.
Well, I didn't even say anything that time. I didn't even bring it up.
For those watching on Super Talk TV, we'll see the look that Chris just gave me.
I feel like you're dealing with a guilty conscience because you knew that was delayed lightning.
Yeah, I know.
You think this is a moment in time?
It is.
Oh, wow.
It is a moment in time.
Reclaiming my time.
Okay. Next story in the lightning round. A little bit better. I disagree with the Pope.
Shocker.
What? What is that supposed to mean?
Which part? Let's clarify.
Well, Pope Leo wants the U.S. to abolish capital punishment.
The church teaches that the death penalty is inadmissible because it is an attack on the inviolability and dignity of the person.
It says Pope Leo condemns capital punishment amid Trump administration plans to expand execution methods.
Is the very foundation of every other human right. For this reason, only when a society safeguards the sanctity of human life will it flourish and prosper.
It says the U.S. DOJ said methods including firing squads and electrocution should be available for federal executions.
Effective systems of detention can be and have been developed that protect citizens, while at the same time do not completely deprive those who are guilty of the possibility of redemption.
Except some of them aren't possibly redeemable. You know what I mean? I think we should expand the death penalty. I think that we need more death, not less death. I do. I'm like perfectly honest. Like for instance, if you rape a child, I think that you should be thrown into a wood chipper, feet first, slow speed. That's just me. I think that the death penalty is 100% warranted in that case. In fact, I think it's one of the most humane things to do. And we can't let this evil person get out there with the possibility to reoffend. We have to send a strong message of deterrence. And furthermore, you know what is a really common precursor to people abusing children? Well, they've been abused as children themselves. So if you let these people continue to offend, well, then you're creating more offenders potentially. I say no. I think that we need to expand the death penalty. I would also, I think we could stretch it out even further. I would be open to it in certain cases of rape. I would be open to it in certain cases of human trafficking. I think that more death penalty, not less death penalty. Me versus the Pope. Who you got? Who do you agree with? More or less. I think if you're going to go out there and rape a child, you should be absolutely beheaded. I think tortured too. Is that you think that's controversial? I don't think that's controversial at all. And if you're worried about the dignity of human life, what about the victims? So, yeah, no. So I read too many stories, and a lot of these stories I don't even bring to this show because like they're so dark and just evil that I don't even want to do it because I don't want to give evil that kind of spotlight. But trust me, those stories are there. And if you go looking for them, you will find them. And what what happens out there, then no. I would do it myself, actually. I would sign up. I bet you I would be willing to bet we could save a lot of money if we had a sign-up sheet.
Ooh, sign-up sheet for castrating pedophiles and rapists?
Who says no? Who says no?
I'd make that deal.
Would you make that deal?
I'll make that deal. How about you, bitch? You make that deal? I'd make that deal. I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
What if it was like, okay, but you got to handle everything. It's all on you. Up to and including digging the hole. I think that you would still get a lot of people signing up.
I got a good show of oil in the back.
I think people would sign up. I think that they would fund it themselves. It wouldn't cost the government a dime. I'm just saying. Who says no? I mean, geez, the family would line up. Just keep it in-house.
I'd pay for a ticket.
Right? Yeah, I think, you could actually probably turn this into a money maker.
Yeah.
I think you could. I got one more time for what? Don't give me that look. I got time for one more story in the lightning round.
Another one.
It's been a while since you've used that.
I'm giving things a break.
We're not going to be seeing Caroline Levitt anymore.
Oh.
At least for a little while. Friday was her last press gaggle.
Finally, on a personal matter, this will likely be my last gaggle for some time. As you can see, I'm about ready to have a baby any minute. So I will see you guys very soon. I know you'll be in very good hands with my team here at the White House. And I know all of you have the president's phone number personally. So I have no doubt that you'll have a shortage of statements and news from this building while I'm gone. So we'll see you guys this weekend. Thank you.
Wishing her the best of luck, the healthiest, happiest delivery, and we pray that baby is happy and healthy and good to go, and that you enjoy an extended maternity leave. I tell this to all of my friends that have babies. Take all of the time that they're willing to give you. Don't rush back to work.
We just gave that news that information to somebody close to us.
Monica Page.
Yep.
Monica Page just had her baby. Don't like some people rush back. And I'm like, don't. Why would you do that?
Yeah, spend as much time with your newborn as possible.
If the company's going to give you 3 months, why on earth would you come back in 2? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. It's paid time off.
Exactly.
No point.
100%. Take as much time as you need. Enjoy all those moments with the baby. And wishing the best of luck to Caroline Levitt. It is 11:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
This is where he talks about you.
Talks about me?
Yeah. Aside from hand, most of you are clearly intelligent, based in the real world type of people. He seems to be longing for a handmaiden type society. I predict he will be an extreme short timer.
Weird.
Odd. What are you at now? A couple years?
Yeah.
Again, didn't age well.
I love how he said, you guys are smart aside from hand.
I know.
That's my favorite part. 56 minutes past the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand, Mason Fleming producing, Ken Weaver in the newsroom, Chad Benson's in studio. First question he asked when he got in here: how many pizzas did I get Friday night?
Absolutely. Solid move right there.
I got 7 pizzas.
Because your wife didn't want you to get 7, did she?
She wanted me to get 4.
Yeah. That wouldn't. How many pizzas you have left? Pieces of pizza.
2 pieces left.
2 pieces. That's it.
I felt like the kid with the fish.
You did it perfect. You knew. Because I just don't think some people understand what free food will do for everybody.
Exactly. Coaches had pizzas.
Other team.
The other team sent over a few kids.
Brothers, sisters, people coming out of the woodwork.
And the parents. Yeah. The parents were the happiest.
Of course.
They were like, we get to go home. It's like 9:15 when the game was over. They're like, now we get to go home and be like, no, you already ate dinner. It's time for bed.
Yeah, but didn't have dessert. It's Friday.
It was a huge win.
It's Friday, Dad, Bob, come on, I want to stay up.
And they won the game, which was great.
That's awesome.
We went in there a little nervous. We knew the other team. And so a lot of the players on the other team, we played with them last year. So we knew how good they were. So we were going into it. We're like, listen, as long as we have a good time, everything's fine. Setting it up just in case.
Yeah.
But no, we went in there and just handled business. So
nice.
It was awesome.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
That's awesome. What'd you talk about today?
Nothing. There isn't nothing going on.
Fantastic. That's what I'm talking about too.
The media. The media once again.
The media.
The Democrats once again ginning up leftist lunatics to cause violence. And, they'll say that we're the extremists, but when there was a president in office who was doing actual tyrannical things, actually weaponizing the Justice Department, actually shutting people down on social media and silencing free speech, actually forcing Americans to get vaccinated or lose their job. I don't remember anybody taking shots at him.
No.
I remember Republicans being downright pissed.
As you should have been.
But I don't remember any conservatives.
Everybody's like, he's not doing any of that stuff. Look at him.
But I don't remember any conservatives taking aim at anybody.
No. You should be taking shots at anybody, for God's sakes.
It's crazy.
That's why you vote. Don't like it. I'm going to go out, complain, whine, vote.
I don't know. The motive could have been anything, though. We don't know yet. That was Barack Hussein Obama.
We know.
Sunday afternoon. He's like, although the motive is unclear.
The manifesto
he'd look like Trayvon.
Like, really? Was he the happy federal assassin or whatever he called himself?
Well, and then it's like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's like a superhero kid.
Yeah.
So, but the media. So there was an interview with a guy who was like, I don't know, man. He just seemed like an average guy. He seemed like a normal guy. I can't believe he did this. And it was like, yeah, that's the issue. That's how much the media can drive these people into hysteria.
Yeah. Because he left, I mean, nobody seemed to know that he was this gone.
Oh, but we need to talk about firearms on trains. Like, okay. Because
first of all, was he the only person on the train? They're like, hey, can you drive it the rest of the way?
There's clearly a loophole on the trains. It's like, oh yeah, well, he could have drove a car. Are we gonna have checkpoints at every state line?
Firearms on trains. Look, the fact that somebody's on a train, that's a win.
I feel like that's a red flag. Who rides a train anymore?
What, we can't get on a Greyhound?
Honestly.
Oh God, firearms. I like that though. That's the first thing I thought. I said, he took a train. That's thought out.
You got a lot of time.
Yeah. You also have to know nobody's paying attention to the train at all.
taking a train cross country is a different level, kind of locked in.
Oh, yeah, because we don't have fast trains. This isn't Japan. We're not going from coast to coast in like a day and a half. Dude was on there for a while. He was on there when he got inaugurated.
Yeah. It's like he took the Oregon Trail.
He might as well took mule.
Yeah. It would have been there faster.
Yeah, it would have been.
What are you talking about today?
Oh, yeah, we'll probably talk a little bit about that, a little bit about Iran. We've got a bunch of other stuff that's going on in the world of chaos and craziness that's fun.
Did you see the UFO outside of Dulles Air Force Base in Nevada?
It is, look, there's no such thing as UFOs, okay? I think we know that, except for the fact that they're here, Chris.
Project Blue Beans.
Project what?
Project Blue Beans. 12 o'clock, Chad's in next. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.